We've worked on dilations. You had a video over dilations last week. Remember, a dilation is a change in the size of a figure. We're going to look today at the relationship between the perimeter of similar figures that have been dilated. Make sure you have your purple foldable and you are looking at the one that says perimeter, not area. Under the first tab, we have two figures. These are quadrilaterals. We have quadrilateral ABCD and quadrilateral LMNP. If two polygons or shapes, are similar, then their perimeters are proportional to the scale factor between them. Remember, the scale factor tells us how much larger or smaller our shape is going to get. If your scale factor is greater than 1, your shape gets larger. If your scale factor is smaller than 1, your shape gets smaller. The perimeter of ABCD is proportional to the perimeter of LMNP. And in this, our corresponding sides are also proportional. Side AB is proportional to side LM. Side BC is proportional to side MN. Side CD is proportional to side NP. Then our fourth side, side DA, is proportional to side PL. Remember, when we name these sides, we have to use their letters and where they are in relationship to each other. So A and B are similar to LM, they're proportional, and so on around our quadrilateral or any polygon that we are looking at. Under your second tab, we're going to find the perimeter ratio. To find the ratio, remember, it's always the image over original. In this one, we start with our larger pentagon. This is going to be pentagon A, and our smaller pentagon is pentagon B. So our side for pentagon B measures 8 units. Our side for pentagon A measures 10. It's always the image over the original. Here we started with a larger pentagon and it shrank. 8 over 10 can reduce to 4/5. Notice our scale factor is smaller than 1, so this tells us our shape shrank, and the ratio of the perimeters is 4 to 5. On the next example with our rectangles, we have rectangle A and rectangle B. A is the pre-image and B is the image for this. On this one, side A is 5 and side B is 15. So here we have our image is 15 over 5, the original. 15 over 5 can reduce to 3 over 1. So the ratio of our perimeters would be 3 to 1. The ratio of the perimeters is equivalent to the ratio of the sides. Okay, so on the next tab, we have two shapes that are similar. We're going to find the perimeter of the smaller shape. In our picture, we have a side length of 3 for the smaller shape and a side length of 9 for the larger one. And it tells us here that the perimeter of the larger shape is 75. So we're going to use our scale factor to find our perimeter. Our scale factor is the ratio of the sides. So in our scale factor, the side of the larger figure is 9 and the smaller figure is 3. So our scale factor is equal to 3 over 1. That means the ratio for our perimeters is also 3 over 1. Now, to find our larger perimeter, if our scale factor is 3 over 1, and we know that the large perimeter is 75, we are missing the small perimeter. We can set up a proportion. Similar figures have proportional sides. That also means that their perimeter is proportional. If we look at this, 3 times 25 is 75. If we multiply the top of our proportion by 25, we have to multiply the bottom of our proportion by 25. So our smaller perimeter is going to be equal to 1 times 25, which is 25. And we were measuring this in inches. So you can use a proportion to find the perimeter of similar figures. Under the next tab, we're going to find the scale factor if we are given perimeters. Here we have triangle A and triangle B. A is the original and B is the image, so this shrank. So we know that our scale factor has to be smaller than 1. If we find the ratio of the perimeters, that is going to be equal to our scale factor. The perimeter of figure B, of triangle B, is 15 inches. The perimeter of triangle A is 25 inches. So 15 over 25 can reduce to 3/5 if we divide the top and the bottom by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Our scale factor is 3/5. On the trapezoids to the right, we have figure A and figure B. A is the original and B is the image, so this time it's getting larger. It is dilating and getting to a larger figure. That means our scale factor has to be greater than 1. If the perimeter of figure B is 60 and the figure A has a perimeter of 15, our scale factor is the ratio of 16 to 50. We can divide the numerator and the denominator by 15. 60 divided by 15 is 4. 15 divided by 15 is 1. So our scale factor is 4 to 1, or 4 over 1. That tells us that our shape was enlarged because our scale factor is greater than 1. 4 over 1 is greater than 1. Under the last tab, these two shapes are similar. We're going to find the missing side of the, it should say larger shape. Find the missing side of the larger shape. When you are looking at this, we have a perimeter for each figure, and we know that this side is 16 for our smaller figure. The corresponding side for this is x, that is our unknown value. We're going to find the ratio of our perimeters. We started with the large one and we shrank it to the smaller one. So our perimeter ratios, if we look at our numerator, we're going to have our perimeter of our smaller one, which is 50, and the perimeter of the larger figure, which is 75. 50 divided by 75, or 50 over 75, reduces to a scale factor of 2/3. If our scale factor is 2/3, that means that our shape was shrinking. We're going to use a proportion to solve for the missing side. 16 is the smaller, is from the smaller figure. Looking at our ratio 2/3, 2 is the smaller number, so we know that our 16 has to go in the numerator and our missing side is in the denominator. Remember, you can solve proportions by multiplying across, multiplying up and down, or by cross multiplying and dividing. We see in this that 2 times 8 is 16, so 3 times 8 in the denominator would give us a value of 24. So the side of our larger figure that is missing is 24 inches. We're going to work on dilations again in class tomorrow. Remember, dilations mean that our shape gets larger or smaller. We'll be working on these the rest of the week. On Friday, you're taking your quiz. Make sure you've been studying for that quiz with our transformations.